En torno al tema Pacto del Bicentenario, juventud que busca cerrar brechas por un Panamá más equitativo, justo y solidario. Sintoniza este domingo la gran final del concurso nacional Oratoria en exclusiva a las 6 de la tarde. En este Bicentenario, todos somos Panamá. TV. Nuestro imaginario colectivo impactará con la fuerza interpretativa de cada voz.
Las cosas están muy mal, María. Me dijeron de una epidemia de viruela en Coclé. La gente se está muriendo.
Ay, viruela allá, fiebre amarilla acá. Dios nos ampare.
Radioteatros de Nacional FM este sábado desde las 9 de la mañana y su retransmisión el domingo a las 9 de la mañana. Celebramos juntos 200 años de independencia. ¡Viva Panamá! ¡Viva el Bicentenario!
Atención, informamos a la población que a partir del miércoles 17 de noviembre estaremos aplicando la dosis de refuerzo a los residentes de los circuitos 8.4 y 8.9 mayores de 55 años. También estaremos aplicando la segunda dosis a los residentes del circuito 10.1 y 10.2 en la comarca Cunayala desde los 12 años de edad. Atención, noticia importante. Países de Europa están atravesando por una cuarta ola del COVID-19, afectando principalmente a la población no vacunada. Acudamos a los centros habilitados y no dejemos de vacunarnos. Gobierno Nacional. Panamá sale adelante.
Panamá conmemora su bicentenario y para conocer más de nuestra historia, explorar y celebrar, te presentamos la aplicación para dispositivos digitales, el App del Bicentenario. Esta aplicación es un reto novedoso y único para descubrir de forma física o virtual los lugares más emblemáticos de nuestra historia, personajes, monumentos, cultura y vida a lo largo de estos 200 años de independencia. El App del Bicentenario ya está disponible para descargarla en Play Store, para dispositivos Android y en App Store para iPhone. Celebra con nosotros desde cualquier parte del mundo el Bicentenario de Panamá con el App del Bicentenario. Síguenos en YouTube y Facebook, el Bicentenario APP. Sintoniza la hora 9 de lunes a viernes por Nacional 101.7 FM con Janet Cepeda y Ángel Sierra Ayarza. Un espacio con información, cultura, turismo, salud y mucho más. Toda la información de los deportes con Alexis Ríos. Somos Más Radio, Nacional FM. La Secretaría Nacional de la Niñez, Adolescencia y Familia, con oficinas en la ciudad de Panamá, Corregimiento Bellavista, calle 39, edificio Torre Miramar, planta baja, teléfonos 504-3983 y 524-1419. Solicita la presencia del señor Gabriel Izarama Roja, con cédula 5-708-238, para tratar asuntos de orden familiar. Este es un mensaje del CENIAF.
Sus nombres son leyenda. Sus canciones traspasaron fronteras.
Digan lo que digan, nadie puede apartarlo de mí. Me preguntan si lo quiero todavía.
Isabel Pantoja, Lola Flores, Rafael y Rocío Jurado en Bioseries, una majestuosa producción de España para el mundo. Bioseries, próximamente. En este bicentenario, todos somos Panamá. TV, orgullosos de ser panameños y panameñas. Nacional 101.7, Crisol 106.9 FM, Radio Nacional 840 AM, junto a TV y Meduca presentan Conéctate con la Estrella. Estamos comprometidos con la formación pedagógica de la niñez panameña.
Conéctate con la Estrella, es el proyecto de todos. Y si cantamos a coro todo el mundo, edúcate, edúcate, edúcate. Conéctate, conéctate, conéctate. Somos el futuro de la patria.
Suena el timbre de séptimo grado. Conéctate con la Estrella, celebrando el Bicentenario.
Hello, 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 hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, my dear student. Welcome back to another English class with Conéctate con la Estrella, an initiative of the Ministry of Education. Today we will have an interesting lesson, topic, vocabulary, and a lot of things that we are excited to share with you today. Good afternoon, Teacher Reynaldo Mani.
Good afternoon, Teacher Tatiana. How are you doing today?
I am happy.
I can see that.
I am happy because we are in our month. We are celebrating Panama, and also we won the soccer game.
Oh yeah. I told you the Bible's going to help us.
Yes, that's totally true. So it's time of what?
It's English time
With
Teacher Mannings and Teacher Tatiana.
Ray.
Today's a wonderful day, as we mentioned just a while ago. But before we start, if you can see us, what can you see here on our table? If you cannot see us, we have a hat. We have a nice, beautiful hat that represents what is November for us, for all Panamanians, celebrating our birthday. We could call it our birthday, our independence, and also celebrating 200 years of independence
Of Panama from Spain.
But also I noticed that we have like jewelry here on the table.
Yeah, so those are examples of when we dress with the beautiful typical dress of Panamanian have.
Oh.
So yeah, so here we are giving you example. Also, I'm wearing some of them.
Nice, beautiful.
Yeah.
If you can see us, you will notice that Teacher Tatiana have some beautiful jewelry, typical jewelry, the ones they use when the women's have their pollera.
Pochera.
Great. Well, we're going to start our class today, and today we're going to have a new topic. All right, today we're going to speak about time and numbers. Time and numbers. That would be interesting. Okay. The objective of today's class is to tell the time. Students will be able to tell the time and also talk about routine and leisure activities. Before we continue and we go into the nice part of the topic, we need to go into a review. We're going to speak about, we want to review numbers. Remember the topic of the numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. But you need to know, or you need to be aware of numbers in order to read time.
Okay.
Okay, so if you don't know the numbers, you cannot read time. All right? Time. Yes, time is something so interesting. Time measures seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks. Wow, you measure all these things with time. And there are many gadgets or things that can be used to measure time or to see time. For instance, an analog clock. We don't see much analog clock today, but those are those clocks that you used to touch on the top to stop when it ring, or even the ones we have on the wall at our house, at school. Those are analog clocks.
Okay.
We have digital clocks that are the ones that you see numbers. But when I say numbers, you see like the time. You see like 2 p.m. There are 2 point and 0, and the numbers move. So that's the digital one. All right. But we also have one that is really common. Watch. Ladies, gentlemen, kids wear watch on their hands, and with the watch you are able to read the time. You are able to tell what time it is. Okay, remember English time. So those are gadgets that we use in order to measure, in order to see, in order to read time. let's go to the parts of a clock. And in this case, we're going to speak about the parts of the analog clock. All right. These clocks have something that is very common. They have hands. Yes, hands, but not human hands. They are like sticks, like lines that they are pointing to numbers in order for us to know what time it is.
Okay.
Okay. So we have the small hand that is called the hour hand. With that one, you notice what hour it is. And you have a long one, a long and thin one. That one is called a minute hand. With that one, you notice the minutes of the clock. All right. And we have a smaller little one that is called the seconds hand. All right. So on that analog clock, we also have numbers and lines. So you have the 12 numbers, 1 to 12, and those 12 numbers mean the hour, but they also mean minutes. And between each number there are lines. There are actually 5 lines. Those lines are like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you see number 5. All right. If you have a watch, an analog watch, you will notice this. You will be able to notice what I'm speaking about. Maybe you cannot see what we are trying to show you. Maybe you're not seeing our video because you are not in YouTube or you're not live. But if you have a watch on your hand or on your wall, you will be able to notice what I'm trying to explain. Okay. So before we continue, is Teacher Tatiana's favorite segment.
Yeah.
It's that one that we're going to get, right? And it's called Did you know? Yeah. Did you know after 321 years of colonial rule, Panama got its independence from Spain? Teacher Tatiana, that means that we were under Spain rule or command for 321 years. You know how many generations?
Girl, you're too many.
Oh my God. So that's why we need to celebrate over 200 years of independence, and we need to be proud of what we have done in 200 years. So congratulations, Panama, and be proud of your country and make everyone notice that you are proud. Okay, great. Let's continue. How do we tell the time? How?
Good question.
So when the minute hand, remember the minute hand is on number 12, we say it is o'clock. And why do I say because that is like a space, because another information is going there. All right. So we continue. If the hour hand is on the number 3, then it's 3 o'clock. Remember, the small one, the small hand, it correspond or it's going to tell the hour.
Okay.
The long one will correspond to minutes. So if it's on the number 12, we're going to say o'clock. But before we say o'clock, we look at the small one and we know what number correspond. All right? Good. So if we see the small one at the 5 and the large one at the 12, it will be
the small one at the 5.
Yeah.
And that's the small.
The long one at the 12.
On the 12. So we're 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. That is correct. Just like that. Well, we have other ways to continue telling the time. Let's try to go a little quick, okay? I notice that time is running. So when the minute hand is on number 3, we say it's quarter past.
Okay.
Quarter past. Okay?
That means how many minutes?
That means 15 minutes
Okay.
past. Quarter.
15 minutes past.
Okay? Why is a quarter? Because it's a circle and you break or you cut the circle in 4 parts.
For
First
equal
quarter,
parts.
second quarter, third quarter,
Okay, good.
fourth quarter.
Very
All right?
important.
Let's continue. When the minute hand is on number 6, it will be off pass. Off because it's off of the circle. Off pass. Then you give the next number or the information. If we have the 6, if we have the big one at the 6 and the small one at the 5, it would be off past 5.
Okay.
All right, let's continue. Let's go. Let's run.
Half past 5. Okay.
Yeah. So when that minute hand, the long one, is on number 9.
Number 9. Okay.
Okay. Remember 12, 3, 6, 9.
Okay.
Okay. We say it's quarter 2. Quarter 2.
Okay. Quarter 2.
That
and the
mean-
next no.
The next number. Why quarter 2? Because it's missing 15 minutes before the next one.
Okay.
So quarter 2.
quarter.
So if we have it at the 9 and the small one is at the number 5, it will be quarter to 6.
Quarter to 6.
Not 5, quarter to 6. All right. Wow, this is really interesting and time is running. Okay. When the minute hand is on number 5, we say it's 5 past. Okay. If it on the number 10, it would be 10 past.
Okay, 10 past.
If it, we know already what it would be when it's at the 15.
Quarter.
It's quarter.
Quarter past.
It's at the 20, it will be 20 past.
20
All right.
past.
Good. After 6, instead of saying past, we say 2 because it's missing. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so let's continue. I want to, Teacher Tatiana, please remind all our students where they can go and see this and where they can practice, because we're going to leave practice for them.
Of course. Remember, my dear students, that you can access to our Google Classroom. The code is TO66L6D. And right now, if you wanted to comment or ask anything, you're welcome. Remember that we have the WhatsApp 60048182. Right now, we are on live on Instagram.
Okay, before we finish, I just want to mention a word, leisure. It's when the free time you have from work or duty can be used to relax. Okay, so we have many activities we can do during our leisure time. Okay, cycling, fishing, etc. So you can analyze and you can say, or you could create. You also could create a schedule, like I'm going to go cycling at 5 o'clock. I'm going to go cycling 5:45. So you use that information in order to provide information to someone, in order to provide a schedule. Well, I think it's time to we need to continue now. So let's say bye, but before, remember, thank you. Let's thank all our sponsors for the collaboration, for everything they've done for us. With all those sponsors, we will not be able to be here today. So, Teacher Tatiana, it's time to say
bye, but stay there because we have next class 8th graders.
That's correct. So, see you in a while.
Conéctate con la estrella, es el proyecto de todos. Y si cantamos a coro todo el mundo, edúcate, edúcate, edúcate. Conéctate, conéctate, conéctate.
Somos el futuro de la patria.
Nuestro valor más grande está en nuestra gente panameña. Sigue la fiesta de noviembre en Nacional FM 101.7 y que viva Panamá.
Conéctate con la estrella, es el proyecto
patria.
Suena el timbre de octavo grado. Conéctate con la estrella, celebrando el bicentenario.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Good afternoon. We are here once more, but now with 8th grade. Yeah, and for 8th grade, we're going to have teacher Tatiana.
Good afternoon, 8th graders. How are you? I hope all of you are wonderful. We'll almost end this school year. Congratulations for all of you. You are doing an amazing and marvelous work during this year. Today we will continue talking about secondary educational system. This is part B. Today's objective is to distinguish the difference between academic and technical or vocational school. Also, to identify whether to use like or decide in sentencing. We are very happy to have you, so you can join us on Instagram, YouTube. Remember that also you can see each class through our Google Classroom. The code is TO66L6D. And also we have WhatsApp 6004-8182. Amazing.
And speaking about WhatsApp, teacher Tatiana, we need to say welcome and hello to Elizabeth De Leon, Crook Salvis, and Jose V31. Welcome.
I love that happened to me, so I'm laughing because this time it's your turn to say difficult nicknames.
Oh yeah. But welcome. We welcome all overseas.
Welcome. We love you.
Continue. Come.
Okay, let's start with our vocabulary. I will ask teacher Rinaldo Manning to help me. And also, I want you, you're listening, listen carefully and repeat after us, okay?
Repeat.
So we have number 1, mechanic. Number 2, business. Number 3, academic. Let's go with number 4, linguistic. Number 5, scientific. Scientific, right. Number 6, electrician. Let's go with number 7, carpenter. And number 8, vocational. It's a V sound, not a B, not vocational. It is vocational. I like that.
You like the sound?
No, it's like the vibration that you feel.
It make you feel live.
Yeah, because I have a lot of energy, you know.
Okay.
So let's see. Okay. So all this word is related to our topic, okay? So most of this word like mechanic, business, linguistics, scientific, electrician, carpenter are example of subjects, okay?
All right.
And what we are going to do is like I want that you think about it. What can you learn in this kind of subjects? And what we're going to do, we are going to have a small practice that you have to match the word with the picture. We have 3 pictures. Let's work with the first one. 3 pictures. I will describe what I see on each one, and you need to choose. You need to tell me if it's letter A, mechanic, letter B, business, and letter C, academic. Okay. Number 1, it's not like easy. I mean, the magister is teacher Rinaldo Manning, because he is the one that have the knowledge of accounting, right? Business, right?
That's correct.
So the first picture, there are a calculator, there are coins, there are graphics related. I mean, like when your money or the graphic, it means that the money is increasing.
Yes, your investment are working well.
You see, he is a spur. I know, Blue. So, number 1, think about it. If I with the description that I already gave you, it will be letter A, mechanic, letter B, business, or letter C, academic. What do you think?
Me.
Okay, great.
Well, Of course, number one should be business.
Business, letter B, right? Letters B. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do number 2. Okay, here in this picture we have a lady. She is beside a car, and beside her there is many tools that help her to fix something, to fix the car, to fix a truck, you know.
And I guess she have oil on her.
Yeah, that kind of practice. You need to be familiar that you will be dirty with oil and all the stuff, because you are handled with tools that have oils and other substance. Okay. So we have to skip letter B because we already know the number 1 is letter B, business. So we have letter A, mechanic, and letter C, academic.
Oh, that's an interesting one. The lady is beside a car. So it seems to be she's going to repair the car. So that should be letter A, mechanic.
Right. Correct. Marvelous. Amazing. You see? So it's like you pay attention to those who have access to the Google Classroom. You have to pay attention, and you will be able to complete this practice. Now, as the teacher Manny said before, we will have our one of my favorite segments.
Oh,
yeah, and this is. Did you know? There is a little less than 9 days left to commemorate the 200 years of the independence of Panama from Spain.
Wow, great.
Less than 9 days.
9 days. So,
if
you notice right here on our table, the ones that are looking at us live or on YouTube, we have an art that commemorate those 200 years.
Of course. I wanted that you help us with something to share in Aldomani. And the top of this hat, okay, there are 2 themes that represent something. And one of them have the color blue, white, red, and the other one is red, yellow, red. What they mean?
Well, the blue, red, and white, or the blue, white, and red represent Panama flag.
Okay.
Right? And the red, yellow, red represent Spain flag. Then it's designed like a 2 with zeros. If you notice, it's like a circle.
Okay.
So it represents 200.
So the shape represents the amount of years.
That's correct.
Wow, very interesting.
And the flag, the 2 different countries.
Okay, of course. Yeah, good. Okay, so let's go back to our business. Secondary educational system today, as I told you before, we will distinguish the difference between academic and vocational or technical school. Let's start with academic secondary school. We already know that it's for 10, 11, and 12 grades. Okay. The objective for academic degree are oriented to linguistic, business, and scientific ability. Students acquire knowledge about subjects that require analysis, critical thinking, and reasoning. Examples, we have linguistic, business, and scientific. Then we have vocational or technical school, also for the same levels, 10, 11, and 12 grades. Okay, here we have something different. Vocational or technical degrees are designed to prepare students so they can improve their ability related to various occupations such as mechanic, electrician, carpenters, and other. These type of schools are known as IPT, Professional Technical Institute. Have you ever heard a name of school with this IPT, IPT?
I believe so. I actually remember one like IPT. And I think they are vocational school.
That means, okay. So if you belong to one of these kind of school, you can give the complete name of your school on Instagram so we can mention and give it examples to the rest of the students. That will be awesome.
Yeah, that's correct. Before you continue, I would like to say welcome and hello to Jerixa C, Maria Flores, and Jetsa01. Welcome to our class.
Welcome. Now let's do a little bit more of practice because practice
make
is the
perfection.
key in English. Perfection, yeah. So remember that you can access to our Google Classroom to have this practice. The code is TO66L60. Here is very easy. There are 6 pictures. Number one is linguistic. Number 2 is carpenter. Number 3 is scientific. Number 4 is electrician. Number 5 is business. And number 6 is carpenter. And we have to place in the correct column. The first column is letter A, technical.
Okay.
And the second column is letter B, academic. So number 1, that is linguistic. Can I place in letter A, technical, or can I place in letter B, academic? Linguistic, number 1.
Good question. Students, do you have an answer for that one?
How about that? The linguistic require like you analyze, okay?
So I believe it should go on B.
Letter B, academic. Very good. Very good. Let's do one more.
Okay.
Let's go with number 2, carpenter. I remember that in our previous class last Friday, you gave this as an example when we were talking about vocational and technical school subjects.
Yes, that is correct.
So for you will be very easy.
Yeah, a carpenter should
Carpenter is number 6. Number 6, carpenter. Where can you place this?
Carpenter should go on technical.
Technical.
Letter A.
Exactly. Very good. Okay. It require to improve that ability to different kind to a specific ability. Okay. Now how about if we practice our structures? How we know if we can use like or decide?
Oh.
Yeah, for the majority of us, the common verb is like. Okay, we used to have very easy and a lot of sentences with this verb. I like chocolate, for example. I like to play. I like swimming. Okay, and what is very interesting is that with this verb, I can use another verb adding ing or the infinitive form that it means that the preposition to and then the main verb. Okay, so but the meaning is enjoy. Easy like that. Like mean enjoy, and we use like to talk about things or that we enjoy or people, the feelings, okay, when they have positive feelings, okay, about something.
All right.
For example, I like experiments, so I will take any science course next year. I like telling jokes. Telling is one of the examples that I just say to you that you can write a verb adding ing, telling, okay, or you can use the infinitive form.
All right.
How about decide? Decide, it comes to resolution in the mind as a result of consideration. Okay, it's like when you take a decision or you persuade something or you convince something or you convince also yourself that you wanted to do something. Okay. For example, I decide to be a doctor. Okay, or I will decide to study mechanic. It could be possible. No, I think that I will decide. It means that you you're taking a decision. If you say I decide, you already took that decision.
Okay, great.
So we have our practice in our Google Classroom, but right now, if you're interested, if you think that you have a questions, remember that we have our WhatsApp number 60048182. Right now we are on Instagrams and our Google Classroom. The code is TO66L6D. And here you're going to find a practice related to like and decide.
They can do the practice and send it to us, right?
Yeah, of course. There are students that they have they put together all the practice they fill in and then send it to us to see how well they do. So in case that if I didn't answer you yet, don't worry, I will do. There is a lot of messages sometimes, but I always try to answer you and give you, not only say you improve, but also I give you an explanation. Okay.
Great teacher.
So the practice is complete. You have to complete with the correct answer. You need to decide whether to use decide or like. I already helped you with the verb. For example, if the subject is in the third person, you're going to find the verb with the S or ES at the end. Okay, because remember that it is a rule when we had simple present sentencing.
Okay.
Third person singular, we must add S or ES. We already practiced many times the rules how to add S or ES to this verb when the subject is third person singular. Okay, so you don't need to be worried about that. What you need to be worried is if you have to use decide or like. So for example, he, number one, he space blank to get an academic degree. So you can say he likes to get an academic degree or he decides to get an academic degree. Which one does sound better? Also, it could be like analyze that. And if you are not sure, think about it. Which one sound better for you? He likes to get an academic degree or he decides to get an academic degree?
I think you could use both, but decide, I believe, is the best one.
Yeah, it's a decision.
Yeah.
Okay, that it telling you that he already made a decision, so he decides to get an academic degree. Very good. So time is over, my 8th graders. So sorry, but you have the practice in our Google Classroom.
That is correct.
We will see you next Friday. However, we have another class with 9th graders. See you soon.
Here. Stay. Bye-bye. See you later.
Alligator.
Conéctate con Estrella, es el proyecto de todos. Y si cantamos a coro todo el mundo, edúcate, edúcate, edúcate. Conéctate, conéctate, conéctate.
Somos el futuro de la patria.
Con orgullo patrio, faltan 9 días para la llegada del Bicentenario de Panamá.
Conéctate con Estrella, es el proyecto de todos. Y si cantamos a coro todo el mundo, edúcate, edúcate, edúcate. Conéctate, conéctate, conéctate.
Somos el futuro de la patria.
Suena el timbre de 9º grado. Conéctate con la estrella, celebrando el Bicentenario.
Hello,
Welcome,
hello,
welcome.
hello. Welcome back to another English class with Conéctate con la Estrella, my night raiders.
That is correct. Welcome, Teacher Tatiana.
Good afternoon, Teacher Reynaldo
Good
Manning.
afternoon. What we have for today?
Today we will continue talking about health problems. It's a very interesting, important, and useful topic for our teenagers.
Yes.
Health problems.
Wow.
But before I start, I would like to introduce with our favorite segment.
Wow. Is that the one with the drums?
Let's see if it's that or not. Okay, well, no. Let's guess. If it's that one, what other segment do we have? No, we don't have another segment.
No.
So they already know which one it is, right?
Yay!
No.
That one?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding you. Yeah, it's that one. It's Did You Know?
You know.
Okay, so very, very, very important. This month we are celebrating our 200 years of independence.
Wow.
Okay, Panama from Spain, right?
200 years.
Yeah, but we need to mention, okay, we cannot say like all the names of the people that were involved in this. However, we can say that not only men but also women
That's
participate in the separatist movement of the Spanish crown in Los Santos in 1821. One of those women was Rufina Alfaro.
Yes, that's correct. I heard that.
Yeah, she is very important in Los Santos, and there are very important places that commemorate this. And we are very happy to have a place that represents, okay, this fight, this movement of freedom here in Panama.
Teacher, you know that there's two versions about Rufina Alfaro. One that they say it was like an invention.
Really?
Yeah, because they say they haven't found no birth certificate or nothing that proves that she born.
Oh, okay, yeah.
However, the another version is that in that city, in that town, in Los Santos, there's a family with that name. That means that name actually exists, and that family is from that province. That means that, yeah, of course she was real.
Yeah, that there is an evidence there. Okay, I don't think that that's an excuse, because many years ago, for example, when there was the slavery, the majority of the slave, they didn't have a birth certificate. They didn't know when to celebrate their birthday.
That's correct.
So,
and you didn't know what day you born exactly.
or how many years old.
Yeah.
So, okay. So good. So you know how many tips, how many information, knowledge we have about Panama, and we don't have too much time to share with you that.
Yes.
But we're still happy, and we still with that energy to be willing to share the little bit what we already know, and also to gain more information, so we will feel proud of our country.
But you know where all our students can get more information?
Where?
At their textbooks.
Exactly.
Go to your textbook and read, and you will get some of the information. It's not boring. It's interesting.
That's totally true. Okay. So the objective for night raiders is to identify infectious and non-infectious diseases, and to use adverb of manner correctly in sentencing.
All right.
Let's start with our vocabulary. Only, to practice, because this word we are going to hear, we are going to read our lesson. Number one, teacher Manning, can you help me repeat it? Also, student, listen carefully and repeat at home.
Okay.
Number one, core.
Core.
Number two, injury.
Injury.
Number 3, genetic.
Genetic.
Number 4, fungi.
Fungi.
Number 5, intestine.
Can you repeat that?
Intestine.
Intestine.
Number 6, airwalk.
Airwalk.
Number 7, liver.
Liver.
Number 8, joint.
Joint.
Number 9, goiter.
Goiter.
And number 10, rupture.
Rupture.
You
Okay.
like break. So
Oh, that sound painful.
yes, I feel that. Okay, so in our Google Classroom, you are going to find a practice to match. Okay, so for those who wanted to practice more about this word. Okay,
Good, good about that.
Ay. I mean, this is a very important topic, interesting, but also for me is a little bit like I have some kind of feeling sense in my skin.
When you hear about rupture, you think you broke
Yeah.
one of your bones.
Okay, so let me explain you the difference between disease and illness.
Yes, that's important.
Disease is something that needs to be cured, such as infection, injury, toxic exposure, cell degeneration.
Wow.
Illness is something that need to be managed, such as feeling of pain, discomfort, distress, weakness, fatigue. So that is the difference. This is, need to be cured. This is an infection, you need to go to the doctor and you're going to get medicines and be better. But if it's an illness, it's a need to be managed, such a feeling of pain. I have pain in my stomach, or I have pains in my arm. Okay, so that's it will be an example. But today we will focus on disease.
Okay.
And there are two types. There are two, and we have a classification. Okay, we have infections and non-infections.
All right.
Infections are caused by pathogenic microorganisms. Most are contagious. Okay, but non-infections, they have like genetic deficiency causes. They are not contagious.
So that's a big difference. One is contagious and the other one is not.
That it, like in summary, that's a way that you can identify them.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you example first of infection disease. Okay.
Please.
Those that are caused by pathogenic microorganisms, such as bacteria, protozoa, fungi, and virus.
All right.
Examples of this is by bacteria are tuberculosis that affect the lungs.
Yes.
Okay.
And you
Cholera.
can die.
Cholera that affect your intestines. Diphtheria that affect the airways. Tetanus that affects muscles.
All right.
Now, examples of infectious diseases by protozoa are malaria that affect the blood, sleeping sickness that affect nerve tissues.
Okay.
Those are the two examples. An example of infectious disease by fungi are, that's very common, athlete's foot that affect the skins. Another one is candidiasis that affect the skin mucosas.
All right.
Infection disease by virus, we have hepatitis that affect the liver. That was the reason that was in the vocabulary. And we have measles that affect the skin, rabies that affect the nervous systems, and we have AIDS, IEDS, that affect the immune system. That this is one of the virus that many years ago people was very like scared, and there was like how can I say, like discrimination for those people that are infected with this kind of virus.
They used to want to separate them, have them far, because they were scared to be contained.
Exactly. Okay. And now, how about if I give you example of those that are non-infection diseases?
Okay.
So there are many of them. We can say that one of they are by cardiac or vascular. Also, that means that affect the cardiovascular system.
The art.
Exactly. Like hypertension.
Okay.
That's a good one. And we also have respiratory disease that affect like your lungs, like chronic bronchitis and asthma.
Okay. Those are serious.
Yeah. Bones and joint disease affect the skeletal or osseous apparatus. We have examples are arthritis, osteoporosis, cancer. Cancer is another one. I mean, it's not an infection disease. People at the beginning, people think that was like an infection disease. And we have, like, to give you an example, we can say liver cancer, pancreatic cancer, and there are many of different type of cancers. We also have the ones that are caused by lack of certain food, for example, anemia.
Okay.
And these are like the most common that I can mention to you, but there are many. There are a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
And what we're going to explain also is how you can complete the practice in our Google Classroom. Okay. And here you're going to find two columns. Letter A, infection. Letter B, non-infection. And you have from 1 to A different examples of disease, infections and non-infections, right? So you need to decide, for example, malaria, okay, where you can place malaria, if malaria is an infection disease or non-infection disease. It is an infection disease, the malaria, okay, that is the one that affect your blood. Okay, so it was like very difficult to handle with this kind of disease at the beginning when this appeared in our world. Okay, how about number 2, hypertension? Do you think that it's like contagion?
No, that should be a non-infectious disease.
Is exactly, okay. So think about it, which one could be contagious and which one could be not, and in that way you can complete this practice. That will be the easy way. Also today we will cover adverbs of manner. Before we explain the rules, okay, today we will focus on the structure. How can you use adverbs of manner in sentences? Adverbs can be before verbs. So for example, you will happily do your homework. Adverbs can be before the verb. In this case, the verb is do. You will happily do your homework. Okay, will is not the verb. Will is an auxiliary.
Oh, interesting.
Another way is adverb can be after verbs. For example, I sing loudly in the tube. I also do that. I sing loudly. Okay, the adverb loudly is after the verb sing. Okay, This is an example how you can place or use adverb of manner in a sentence. But also we have that you can use adverbs after the object. We can have direct or indirect object. Example, the doctor checked the patient carefully. Carefully. Okay, carefully is the adverb and it is after the object. Which one is the object here? You will ask yourself, to who the doctor or check? Who the doctor check? The doctor check the patient. So patient is the object. After this, you will write the adverb. In this case, we have carefully. Okay? If you forget, if you are not sure how to write adverbs of manners, there is a QR code that you can scan and will help you to go to a website where you will find the rule of adverbs. Okay?
Great.
Very important. And also, in order to finish today, we have the practice. Where you have to write the adverbs of manner correctly in each sentence. The practice at the end of each statement or sentence between parentheses, you will find an adjective, okay, and that word you need to
convert it
exactly into an adverb. For that, you need the rule. Okay?
Okay.
You need the rule. Let me help you with the first one. Number 1, the doctor study, and then you need to write here the adverb. Here, this sentence, the structure is adverbs after the verb. The verb in this sentence is the study. Okay, so this is the example of the second structure that I explained to you today. So what you have to do here, you can add the ly, so you will have hardly. Doctors study hardly. That's our, remember, most of the adjective you just add ly in order to convert or change into adverbs. And that's it. That is everything that we want to share today with 9th graders. Ooh. And time is over also.
Yes, time is running.
So my dear student, remember to access to our Google Classroom. Next Friday we have a very interesting class for you. So we will see you next Friday.
See you later.
Alligator.